So, today is the start of our class, the subject in calculus. So, we're waiting for our professor today to start the class.
Yan, nasa chat box. Paki-click na lang yung link para maka-join. So, nasa chat box natin, anak, sa Gmail. Click mo lang dyan yung chat box. Send ko ulit kung hindi nyo na-receive. Ayan, kasend na ulit. So, marami pa rin nag-join. Kasi nakita ko sa Facebook natin, kung titingnan nyo, nasa 109. Tingnan nyo, 109 ang ating members. Okay. So, ito. Kung napapansin nyo, meron tayong 100 members. Yung link natin, ito lang yung puntahan nyo every Saturday. Yan. Okay. Para hindi na kayo hingi ng link. Okay. Ito lang yung link nyo every Saturday. Okay. Ang sabi natin, 10:20 tayo mag-start kasi nga, bago ang klase na Calculus 1, may klase ako ng data analysis. Ang klase ko sa data analysis ay mula alas 9 hanggang alas 10. So kung magtuloy tayo ng alas 10, kumakain pa ako ng oras para gumawa ng Google Meet para mag-accept sa inyo. So para hindi kayo bihado, yung sulit yung isang oras, nagtuturo na lang yung teacher. Bali nag-start tayo ng 10:20 para mayroon pa akong oras from 10:10 to 10:20 para i-admit ang mga papasok sa Gmeet at may oras pa ako mag-join sa link. Okay, so para hindi ko manakaw yung oras niyo. Isang oras lang naman yung turo ko sa inyo, so nanakawin ko pa ba yun? Okay. So we're going to make use of the time wisely. Okay, so we will now begin. May I request Levi to unmute your microphone to lead the prayer. Thank you. Levi Crisostomo, may I request you to lead the prayer? Thank you. Again, calling Levi Crisostomo to please lead the prayer. Thank you.
Sige po, sir. Ito po. Thank you, Lord, for the day. Bless us with your grace. Thank you for our food. Thank you for the day. Thank you for our lives, Lord. Please guide us through our day and may us learn from our teachers and may we prosper in your grace. Thank you, Lord. Amen.
Okay, Levi. So let's begin. Lord, today, October 10, the school trusted me to the students to teach them the subject. I hope I do my part to help them, to teach them to the best that I can be, at hindi po masayang yung isang oras nila sa klase ko. Ayaw ko may marinig akong estudyante ko na mabuti pa naglaba na lang ako, wala naman akong natutunan doon. Okay? Mabuti pa umalis na lang ako, hindi na ako nag-join, wala naman akong natutunan doon. So, may tiwala sa akin yung school at binigyan ako ng pagkakataon to teach you, to influence you, at saka dapat magawa ko yung tungkulin ko. Ibinahagi niyo sa akin yung isang oras sa asignaturang calculus para kayo ay turuan. So sana magampanan ko ang aking tungkulin ngayong araw at maihatid ko sa inyo yung kalidad na edukasyon na dapat makuha ninyo dahil ito ay binabayaran nyo ang pag-aaral. Okay. So let's begin.
hanggang po si Christine, hindi makapasok.
Okay, noted. Okay. Sige, let's start. Pakikuha na ng notes. Marami pa rin ang nag-join sa oras na ito. Okay, so we're going to wrap up all the discussions last meeting to make sure that you have a full understanding about the lesson. Alright, so functions and relations. Diniscuss natin last time that not all functions are not all relations are functions, but all functions are relations. So we're going to discuss function relation, evaluating operations, compositions, and special functions. As I read your module, gusto ko siyang ituro sa inyo sa pinaka madaling paraan. Okay? Gusto ko matutunan nyo siya with a very deep understanding, yung pinakaugat. Okay? Sige. So determine the different types of relations, identify whether a relation is a function. So alam na natin last time, no? When you're talking about relation, it is a rule that associates the elements of one set of values to another set of values. The domain is considered as the set of inputs, while the set of outputs is called the range. So we can display relations using set of ordered pairs, using tables, and using arrow diagram. You can also use graph. Okay, so these are the presentations of relations. We can use set of ordered pairs, tables, arrow diagram, graphs, pwede din equations, pwede din arrow diagram, pwede din mapping diagram, pwede din real life situation or problems involving real life situations. So ang type of relation natin, again, as a result of our wrap-up activities, this was discussed last Saturday. We have one-to-one, one-to-many, and many-to-one. And the input are what we call the domain, and the output are what we call the range. The first elements are the domain, and the second elements are the range. So one-to-one, meaning each element in the domain is associated with each element in the range, and each element in the range is associated with each element in the domain. So every input or X has a unique output Y. So as you can see, 1 is paired by 5, 2 is paired by 4, 3 is paired by 3, and 4 is paired by 2. That's why it is a one-to-one relation. And a one-to-one relation is a function, because when we say function, each X paired with one Y. So for example, of one-to-one function in application to real-life situation is a student. A student is associated to its student ID number. We know that every student in ACLC has a unique student ID number. There is no student in ACLC that has the same student number. Library book. If we have a library book, we can say that in a library book, there is a unique call number. Example of one-to-many, input, output. So one-to-many is one element in the domain can be associated with one or more elements in the range. For example, car manufacturer. So in car manufacturer, the car manufacturer can produce different car models. So therefore, that situation represents one-to-many. Because a car manufacturer, let's say Toyota can have different car models. Mayroon tayong Rush 2018, 2019, 2020 models. So that is an example of one-to-many relation. Example also is student. We can associate student to gadget for online learning. We know that every student is associated with different gadgets for online learning. Pwede yung isang estudyante ay meron siyang laptop, mayroon siyang smartphone, mayroon siyang iPad, meron siyang tablet. So that is one-to-many. Many-to-one. When you're talking about many-to-one, several elements in the domain can be associated with one element in the range. Many-to-one here, the domains are 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the range is only 0. So as you can see, each x here in the input is paired with only one y output. So 1 is paired with 0, 2 is paired with 0, 3 is paired with 0, 4 is paired with 0. Therefore, many-to-one is an example of a relation that is a function. Examples of real-life situation that illustrates many-to-one. Example, an employees has only one company. You say, for example, you are working in ABS-CBN company, and that company television has so many employees, and the relationship between employees and the company itself is what we call many-to-one. Example, bank accounts. You have many bank accounts referring to only one person. Let's say, for example, Levy has a bank accounts in BPI, Metrobank, Land Bank, Security Bank. Marami siyang account, pero siya lang ang pamay-ari. Okay? Metrobank, BDO, BPI. So, yun yung bank. So, marami siyang bank accounts at siya lang ang nagmay-ari. So, the relationship between bank accounts and a person is an example of many-to-one function. And that is a relation that is a function. When you're talking about function by definition, please read. Please read Giancarlo.
Function is a relation between a set of inputs and a set of perceivable outputs where each input is related to exactly one output.
Alright. So function is a relation between a set of inputs and a set of permissible outputs where each input is related to exactly one output. Or we say that each x is paired with one y to make it a function. As you can see there, illustrating using Venn diagram, a function is a subset of relation, meaning all functions are relations, but not all relations are functions. So here, we have three types of relation presented on the screen: one-to-one, one-to-many, and many-to-one. A function is a relation between a set of inputs and a set of permissible outputs where each input is related to exactly one output. So among of these three types of relation, the functions are one-to-one and many-to-one. Now, let's classify the type of relation and determine if the given is a function or not. Remember that the tip is, for a relation to be a function, no element in the domain is repeated. Alright, let us have the recitation now. Allen Diwa, function or not?
Not function, sir.
Okay, Diwa is correct because this is an example of one-to-many, and one-to-many is a relation that is not a function. And Alin Diwa is correct because negative 4 is paired with 2 and 3. So each x paired with 1y to become its function. So negative 4 is paired with 2 at saka 3. So not function siya. And also we know that one-to-many relation is not a function. Very good, Alin. How about number 2? Aliyah Grant. Aliyah, please unmute your microphone. Identify if that is a function or not. A relation is presented using mapping diagram. So Aliyah Grande, you're going to determine if that graph represents a function or not, or that mapping diagram rather represents a function or not. Aliyah Grande.
Sir, nag-message po siya.
At ano ang mensahe niya? Pakibasa.
Wala daw po siyang mic.
Sige, noted. Angelica Nara. Angelica Nara. Pero walang mic si Aliyah. Anong sagot niya? Tingnan ko. At check natin ang sagot ni Aliyah Grande. Wala daw siyang mic, pero may sagot siya. Sir, sorry po, wala po mic kasi po naka-PC pa ako ngayon. Okay. Aliyah, anong sagot mo? Left. Aliyah left. Okay. Left siya. Okay. Baka may signal niya. So let's have Faith. Yes, Faith. You're raising your hand. What's your answer?
Function.
Alright. Faith is correct. That is a function. Alright. Many one is a function. Okay. How about now? Sevilla.
Function po.
Very good. Alright. Classify the type of relation here. Number one. Okay. Sige. Yes, Trisha. Pacho. What's your answer?
Function po.
Very good. That's function. Number 2. Raise your hand. Yes. Nara. Angelica. Number 2. Please unmute your microphone. Angelica Nara.
Function po.
Okay. Number 2 is not a function. Okay. Kasi ang 9 is paired with 8 and negative 8. Okay, not function. Yes, Torres. Number 3. John Edison Torres.
Function po.
Very good. That is a function. Alright. Now, given a graph, how does one determine if the graph is a function? Yes, Apin, Ramir, Paulo.
Using vertical line test.
Very good. We use the vertical line test if the graph represents a function or not. O, naintindihan na tinuro ko kahapon. So, vertical line test, or we denote that by VLT, a graph represents a function if and only if the vertical line passes through 2 or more points on the graph. Let's have here. We have here the absolute value function denoted by the graph. And as you can see, the line with a red line crosses the graph at one point. So therefore, that graph represents a function. Okay? So the line intersects the graph at one point. So therefore, that graph represents a function. And while the second graph, pag ganyan yung graph natin, parabola siya. Dahil naka-open siya sa right, ibig sabihin, ang naka-square ay y squared, hindi yung x squared. Okay? So kung titingnan natin, yung line, yung vertical line, intersects the graph at 2 points. So therefore, that graph is not a function. Okay? So sa vertical line test, malalaman natin kung function o hindi kasi sa vertical line. Now let's have here, again, the recitation. Okay, which of the following graph is a function? Let's begin. Please raise your hand. Wala pa yung tanong. Gusto ko naka-raise na yung hand. Yes, Apin. Kacho. For Apin muna, susundan ni Kacho. Function or not?
Not function.
Very good. Very good. Next, Sibilia.
Function po.
Very good. Next, Gutan.
Not function po.
Very good. Okay, galing nila. Galing nila. Okay. Totoo ba na kapag magaling estudyante, magaling ang teacher?
Opo.
Tingnan natin.
Opo, sir. Opo.
Okay.
Agree, sir.
Okay. Motivated tuloy ako pagturo. Okay. Given a graph, how does one determine if the graph is a one-to-one function? This time, paano naman natin malaman kung ang graph ay one-to-one? Yes, John Mark Villanueva, you're raising your hand.
Parisan pala.
Okay. So, halimbawa, nag-raise ka ng hand mo, tapos gusto mo na siyang i-down, i-click mo lang ulit yung hand para magda-down siya.
Kaya sir, kala ko na down na po.
Sige, okay lang. Thank you. Really appreciate your active participation in my class. Okay, so we use the horizontal line test naman to determine if the graph is one-to-one. Okay? So, a function is the form of a graph is one-to-one if no horizontal line passes through two or more points on the graph. So, like example here, if you're going to look at the graph that is presented by a dark line, if you're going to draw a vertical line, that graph represents a function. And we're going to know that we know that relations or the types of relations that are functions are one-to-one at saka yung many-to-one. So sa one-to-one dito at saka sa many-to-one, tingnan natin dito sa kanila kung ang graph ba ang graph ng ang one-to-one ay function, ang many-to-one ay function. This time gusto natin malaman kung ang graph ay one-to-one o many-to-one. Ngayon, ang gagamitin natin para malaman kung ito ay one-to-one, we use the horizontal line test. If we're going to draw a horizontal line, and if the line intersects the graph at one point, that graph is a one-to-one function. So here, based on the first presentation of the graph represents a one-to-one function. Okay? As you can see, the vertical line intersects the graph at one point. Okay? The horizontal line rather, yung pahigang linya, higa sa horizontal, ay binangga niya yung line at one point. So that is a one-to-one. But look at the graph of the parabola there. We know that that parabola, if you're going to draw a vertical line, it is a function. Okay? It is a function. Pero kung titingnan natin kung ang function ba ay one-to-one or many-to-one, we use the horizontal line test. So pag palitan nyo to yung V ng H ha. HLT yan. Ito. Palitan nyo ng H. Hindi ko na-edit. Okay? Mali ako dyan. Okay, this is HLT, horizontal line test. So, as you can see here, the graph or the horizontal line intersects the graph at 2 points. So therefore, this is a function, but this function is not one-to-one. Okay? That is many-to-one. Okay. Many-to-one yan. So function, but not one-to-one. So evaluating functions, kung nakikita nyo sa module nyo at napag-aralan na din natin nakaraan, paano tayo mag-evaluate ng function. Pero gusto ko talaga masigurado na naintindihan nyo, kaya nag-wrap up tayo. Okay? So ang function notation natin, gusto ko to maintindihan nyo kasi ng last Saturday, nakita ko medyo hina kayo sa understanding paano magbasa ng function. Okay? Kaya pinagandaan ko kayo ngayon para sigurado tayo na naintindihan nyo. Y is equal to 2x plus 3 with an ordered pair x, y. When a function is defined by an equation, it is convenient to give the function a name. So that y can be written as f of x or f as a function of x or f of x is equal to 2x plus 3. Now, ang basa dyan, mga anak, is name of the function is read as the value of f at x. So, ang basa dyan ay kapag may nakita ka na may f, open parenthesis, x, close parenthesis, ang basa dyan ay the value of f at x or f of x. So, ang value niyan, yung x, kapag in-input mo yung x, yan yung x, ang output niya ay f of x. Yan yung y. Yung f of x mo ay nagre-represent ng y. So, yung 2x plus 3, that represents the rule. So evaluate the function below for f of 5. Here we go. Please tap the hand button. Yes, Ramir, Apin. What's your answer?
13 po, sir. Di po pala na-open mic.
Okay, thank you. Next. Gudan. Lumalaban si Apin sa klase na to. Tingnan natin. Giancarlo Gudan. For question number 2, ready? Okay. So for Apin, 13 is correct. We substitute x by 5. So f of 5 is equal to, si x palitan na natin ng 5. And then when the rule transforms the input 5 into the output 13, this can be written as f of 5 is equal to 13. Or pwede mo siyang basahin na the value of f at 5 is 13. Okay? Now, ito na. Giancarlo, evaluate the function below for g of negative 2.
Wait, sir.
Okay. May sagot na, Giancarlo? Pastor, what's your answer, Giancarlo? 3 po? Alright, let us see if it is 3. Okay, let us check your work. So we substitute x by negative 2. And then we simplify. 4, negative 2 squared ay 4. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. 4 plus 3. So g of negative 2 is 11. Okay, but not
Pagkamali po sa slide.
that's, pero I really appreciate. That's not nice try. Okay, there's no harm in trying. I really appreciate your participation. All right. So ibig sabihin, the value of g at negative 2 is 11. Or pwede nating basahin na g of negative 2 is equal to 11. Let's have here. Okay, raise your hand or tap the hand icon if you want to answer. Before I present the game, yes, Joey Christian Cortez, here is your question. Please be ready. H of x is equal to x squared plus 12.
14, sir.
Alright. So the square root of 2, here we go. So we substitute x by square root of 2. So square root of 2 squared plus 12. And square root of 2 times square root of 2 is square root of 4. Square root of 4 is 2. And 2 plus 12 is 14. And you get it right. Joey Christian Cortez. Very good. Alright. Now, how about next question? Please tap the hand icon if you want to answer. Evaluate the function below for k of a plus 1. Please tap the hand icon if you wish to answer for this question. Yes, Giancarlo Gutan, here is the question. K of x is equal to x squared plus 4x. Evaluate k of a plus 1.
A plus 2
Okay, so we're going to substitute all x by a plus 1 and then we simplify the result. So, Gatan, what would be your final answer? Gatan, what is your final answer?
6A plus so ano, sir?
Alright, sige. Okay lang. Okay? So, the square of a plus 1 plus 4 times a plus 1. The square of a plus 1 is a squared plus 2a plus 1. Plus, we distribute 4 inside the parentheses, so we have 4a plus 4. And then we simplify the result, that is equal to a squared plus 6a plus 5. Okay, narinig ko may 6A ka. At least nandun yung sagot mo, no? Okay, so let us have here a problem. Please read. Please tap the hand icon if you wish to volunteer to read the given problem in application of function in real life situation. Please tap the hand icon. If sentences to justify and support your answer why you choose World Health Organization over Department of Health.
Okay po. World Health Organization is more advanced. The World Health Organization is
I believe in you. You can do it. Just explore. Just tell something about World Health Organization. Why you support or follow the guidelines of World Health Organization over Department of Health. I want you to think critically. I want you to develop your speaking ability. I want you to become confident in talking to the public. So this is your time now to develop yourself to become better in terms of communication, in terms of speaking in the crowd. So it's your turn now to express yourselves. Why you choose World Health Organization, or why you more follow the guidelines set by the World Health Organization over Department of Health. We'll give you 1 minute to answer. Your 1 minute starts now.
The World Health Organization is much more advanced than our Department of Organization, the Department of Health. The World Health Organization is also has more advanced technology than our Department of Health. Our World Health Organization, the World Health Organization, the Department of Health in our country also uses the information in the World Health Organization. So I would like to follow the World Health Organization first, rather than the Department of Health.
Well, that's very good. Very good answer. Okay, that's A. So I believe in you. That's why you were able to think critically and you're able to have an instant answer given the question. So your answers, I agree with you. No? Because DOH just simply follow the standards set with the World Health Organization, and World Health Organization composed of experts, doctors representing. There are representatives from other countries, and this representative that will represent the World Health Organizations are the best doctors in coming from different countries. So to become member of the World Health Organizations, definitely you are one of the best doctors in each country, and they are the one who studied most diseases. That is, let's say for example, COVID-19. Then COVID-19 is a new virus, and the World Health Organization conducted a study about it, and they are more expert as compared to the in terms of finding the vaccines. That's why the DOH is under the management of the World Health Organizations, and the DOH just only follow the guidelines set by the World Health Organizations, because the World Health Organizations is the one who govern the Department of Health and all health-related concerns all over the world. All right, that's good, Ethan Relodge. Thank you. Impressive answer. Now, for the counting antibodies, who wants to volunteer to read? Yes, Escaler, Armando, this time. It's your turn to shine. You may now begin.
Counting antibodies. A scientist tested a medicine in order to determine how effective it is in producing antibodies. The following is a function that represents the number of antibodies A in a sample of blood from a patient days after the experiment. A is equal to 20 plus 100. Ako po ba, sir?
Yes, you are.
What I read is all about a scientist testing medicines in some patient for the past 20 days.
Okay, thank you. The idea is there. But I would like to add more. meaning to say the value of A is dependent on D. D is the dependent variable, while D is the independent variable, while A is the dependent variable. A represents the number of antibodies, meaning to say the number of antibodies is dependent on the number of days. As the number of days increases, the number of antibodies in a sample of the patient's blood increases. Let's say, for example, the number of days is 1. 20 times 1 is 20, plus 100 is 120. If the number of days is 2, that becomes 20 times 2 is 40, plus 100, 140. It only shows that the number of antibodies developed in a patient's blood is dependent on the number of days. As we can also observe that as the number of days increases, the number of antibodies in a sample of the patient's blood also increases. That's why application of functions is very important, because we can use that in our real life situations. You know what? Some students say that they hate math. They do not use math in everyday lives. They are incorrect. Why? Because considering that, let's say for example, if you are going to one's place and you are considering the distance and the time traveled, therefore you are also doing the math way. Let's say for example, you're going to budget your money, you're going to prepare your money for your tuition fee, you are also applying math. Let's say for example, you're going to determine what time are you going to sleep, you are also estimating the time and you are doing math. Let's say for example, if you're going to buy your food, you are also doing math because it's a matter of budgeting. So you need to appreciate the beauty of mathematics because math is life. Everything you do is associated with math. Kahit na umihi ka, you're going to determine what time you need to control first, or you go to the CR to avoid disease. Okay? So you need to appreciate the beauty of math because math is anywhere and everywhere. So let us answer this question. Given the function A is equal to 2D plus 100, meaning to say the value or the number of antibodies developed in a person's or in a patient is dependent on the number of days. So if there are 10 days, how many antibodies were developed in a person's or in a patient? Raise your the hand icon if you wish to answer. Yes, Joey Cortez.
300, sir.
Okay, 300. Can you explain why 300? Support your answer.
Because A equals 20D plus 100. So if we substitute D by 10, it becomes 20 times 10 plus 100. So 20 times 10 becomes 200, 200 plus 100, 200. So 200 antibodies.
Wow, excellent explanation. Okay, so that is what I wanted to be in my students. No, they can speak, they can justify, they can think. So because if you speak, you think, and if you are thinking, it develops you to think critically. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so there are 300 antibodies in a person after 10 days. Now, next question was to answer. Tap the hand icon if you wish to answer for question number 2. Yes, Levi, please read and answer.
How many days did it take for 360 antibodies to appear in the patient's blood sample? 13 days po, sir.
Why? Explain why you come up with 13 days.
Substitute 13 with D. 20 times 13 is 260 plus 100 is 360. Therefore, there are 360 antibodies in the patient's blood sample.
Wow, that's excellent answer. Thank you, Levi. No? So since 360 represents A, where A, as we can see that A represents the number of antibodies. Based on the given, there are 360 antibodies. Therefore, we substitute A by 360 and solve for D. But the way Levi answer is that he keep on thinking what would be the number of days to be multiplied to 20 and added to 100 to give us 360. And that is also a better solution. Okay? So 360 is equal to 20d plus 100. Transpose 100 to the left side. That is application of addition property of equality. We add negative 100 both sides on the left and on the right side. And 360 less 100 is 260 is equal to 20d. And solving for d, applying multiplication property of equality, therefore d is equal to 13 days. But the way Levi presented or explained his answer is that he think that what would be the value of d that will be multiplied to 20 and then added to 100 that will give a result of 360. And he gave an answer which is 13 days. And that is also absolutely true. Now, which variable is the function is the independent variable, which is the dependent variable? We know that the dependent variable is a and the independent variable is d because the number of antibodies is dependent only on the number of days. Alright, so d is the independent variable, while a is the independent variable. We say that a is a function of d. So this is also operations and functions and composition of functions. So we know how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide, and composition of functions. So operations and functions, there are 4. So number 1 is the addition. That is read as the sum of f and g of x is equal to f of x plus g of x. For the subtraction, we have the difference of f and g of x is equal to f of x minus g of x. For the multiplication, that is the product of f of g times x, or f times g of x is equal to f of x times g of x. For the division, that is f times x, g times x is equal to f of x over g of x, where g of x is not equal to 0. The g of x is not equal to 0 because if the denominator is 0, the function becomes undefined. That's why we restrict g of x not to be equal to 0. Okay, so adding functions, let's have here f of x, and another function is g of x. So we're going to find the sum of f of x plus g of x. Please tap the hand icon if you wish to answer. Levi, you are raising your hand. What is your answer, Levi, for that question? Okay, so magbibigay mo na ako ng example. So kapag nag-a-add tayo, ina-add na natin yung dalawang function. Okay, so nag-a-add tayo. So f plus g of x is equal to f of x plus g of x. Our f of x is x squared plus 5x plus 4. And our g of x is x squared minus 3x minus 9. So ina-add lang natin. So therefore, we're going to combine similar terms. So x squared plus x squared is 2x squared. 5x minus 3x is 2x. And 4 minus 9 is negative 9. Therefore, the sum of g and the sum of f and g of x is equal to 2x squared plus 2x plus 5. Alright? So we combine. Okay? Now let's try another number 2 example. Please tap the hand icon if you wish to answer. Let me now begin. Yes. Wish to answer for question or example number 2. Yes, Giancarlo Guta. What was your answer?
X squared plus 2x minus 5.
Okay, so x squared plus minus 5. Okay. Now, this time, we're going to find the value of f of 2. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, there are 2 ways to answer this. One way is to evaluate each function first, then add the values. I.e. means illustrative example, f of 2 plus g of 2. Another way is to determine if f plus g of x, then evaluate the result for f plus g of 2. Let's do the first method. Pwede din naman na, ang gagawin muna natin, i-evaluate muna natin yung, di ba ang ibig sabihin nito ay f of 2 plus ito g of 2 plus g of 2. So kung ang f of x natin ay x squared plus 5x plus 4, si x palitan natin ng 2. Okay? So kapag palitan natin siya ng 2, ito siya. 2 squared plus 5 times 2 plus 4. Then remember that f plus g of 2 is f of 2. Ito yung plus g of 2. So, ang sagot natin, si f dito, si x palitan natin lahat ng 2. Plus kay g, lahat ng x kay g ay palitan din natin ng 2. And then we simplify the result. So, 4 plus 10 is 14 plus 4 is 18. And this is 2 squared. This is 4 minus 6 is negative 2 minus 9 is negative 11. So 18 plus negative 11 or 18 minus 11 is equal to 7. Okay? But anyway, thank you for that try. So let's another, okay, to make it better, for you to understand better, okay? Subtraction, the only difference is we subtract. Okay, so we subtract. So let's go. Who can give the answer for the f minus g of x? Please tap the hand icon. Thank you. Okay, let's try. Wala pa. Yes, Levi. What's your answer?
Sir, ano po yung sa substitute?
Hindi, ano lang, f of x minus g of x lang. So, ibig sabihin, wala tayo, x lang to eh.
Wala ko po po, sir.
So, ano po yung,
Yes, i-substitute mo lang. So, ibig sabihin lang, kunin mo lang yung f of x minus g of x.
ano po, f minus g of x equals x squared plus 5x plus 4 minus x squared minus 3x minus 9.
Simplify.
Yan po, sir.
Okay, sige, nice try. Let's have Mitch Joseph de Losan. What is your answer?
8x plus 13 po.
8x plus 13.
Opo.
Okay, sige. Check natin. So, substitute the functions. F minus g of x is equal to x squared plus 5x plus 4 minus x squared minus 3x minus 9. So, distribute negative 1 inside the distribute negative 1 in the subtrahend and change the operation to addition. So, we have x squared plus 5x plus 4 plus change the sign, diba? Change the sign of the subtrahend and proceed to addition yung rule natin dyan. Diba? Magiging negative, magiging positive, magiging negative, tapos proceed to addition. And then therefore, combine similar terms, 8x plus 13. Sino nakakuha ng tama kanina? 8x plus 13? Yes, Levi, you are raising your hand.
Thank you po, sir. Hindi ko po natindihan yung tanong kanina. Thank you po.
Okay, noted. Okay. So here, giving the, sige, okay na tayo dyan. Multiplication. Here, given 3 functions, so multiply lang natin yung f of x times g of x. Okay, substitute. Let's say for example, we're going to get a product of f times g of x is equal to, yung f of x natin ay 2x squared. Okay? So kasi ang f times g of x, ito yung sagot natin. So yung f of x natin ay 2x squared at ang g of x natin ay x plus 7. Kasi ang f of x natin ay ito at ang g of x natin ay ito, kaya minomultiply lang natin sila. Okay? So multiply and simplify. So 2x squared times x plus 2x squared times 7. So therefore that is 2x cubed plus 14x squared. Okay, so another try. How about f times g here? Oh wait, sorry. Okay. So we multiply h and g, no? So our h of x, ano ba yung h of x natin? X minus 2. So this is h. So magiging ano siya? Magiging h of x times g of x. Okay? Alam natin ang h of x natin ay x minus 2 at alam natin ang g of x natin ay x plus 7. So therefore, we just simply multiply and the result is x squared plus 5x minus 4. Okay? For dividing, for example, we're going to divide f of x and g of x. So substitute lang natin. So f of x over g of x is equal to f of x. So ang f of x natin ay x squared. So f of x natin ay ito at ang g of x natin ay ito. Kaya siya ito ilagay natin. Then applying factoring and then simplify the result. So therefore, our answer is x plus 1. So that is operations on functions. So division, divide lang natin yung k of x. Let's say for example, we have here k of x divided by f of x. So ang k of x natin ay 2x plus 2 at ang ating f of x ay x squared plus 3x plus 2. Then we simplify the result and that is equal to 2 over x plus 2. Okay? Now, let's have the remaining function here. It's time, it's your turn. Okay, you can give the answer for number 1. Tap behind the icon if you wish to answer. What is P over M of X? Tap the hand icon, please. Okay, wala. So, ang ating P of X ay x squared minus x minus 6. Oh yes, Russell Santos for number 2. Russell Santos for number 2.
X plus 2 kasi.
So number 2 ka na, Russell. What is the product of m times n of x?
Taga na po sa susunod ko.
Okay, sige. Take your time. Okay, while waiting for Russell Santos, others may also compute so that we can verify if your answer is correct.
X squared plus 2x minus 15, sir.
Okay, let us check. X squared plus 2x minus 15 is correct. Okay. This time, let's have Debbie. Debbie for number 2. Thank you.
Sir,
Levy, you are assigned to answer question number 3. So meaning to say here, n of 2 over p of 2. So we're going to substitute x in n by 2, as well as we're going to substitute x by 2 in p to solve for the quotient of n of 2 over p of 2. What's your answer, Levy? You are assigned to answer number 3. I see you are raising your hand icon.
wait lang po sir, muna po kasi sir. Ngayon na po signal.
Sige, that's answer number 3. That is negative 7 over 4. Okay, negative 7 over 4. Paano nangyari ito? So we're going to have here n of 2 over, we have here p of 2. So we're going to substitute x by 2. So it becomes 2 plus 5. Sa p naman, si x palitan natin siya ng 2. So lahat ng x palitan ng 2. So, magiging 2 squared minus 2 minus 6. So, 4 minus 2 is 2 minus 6. This is 2 squared is 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 minus 6 is 4.
Sir, ulit po, medyo sabi po kasi
Okay, sige. So here for number 3, we have n of 2 o n of 2 over p of 2. So ibig sabihin, lahat ng x mo, palitan mo ng 2. So dito sa n, palitan mo to ng 2, palitan mo to ng 2. Okay? Kasi magiging n of 2 na siya. So magiging 2 plus 5 over sa p of 2 mo naman, si x mo, palitan mo to ng 2. So 2, 2. So magiging 2 squared minus 2 minus 6. So this is 7. 7. Ito ay 2 squared is 4. 4 minus 2 ay 2. 2 minus 4 is negative 4. Kaya negative 7 over 4 ang sagot natin. Which is negative 7 over 4. Okay. Next. P times n of 1. Raise the hand icon if you wish to answer. Yes, Russell Santos. What's your answer? Russell Santos?
1 po, sir.
1. Let us check. Okay. So, okay, so ibig sabihin, ang sagot nito ay P of 1 times N of 1. Okay? So,
Nalimutan ko po yung times, sir.
yung 1 dito, si
Minus
exponent.
ginawa ko.
So this is 1 squared minus 1 minus 6 times sa n naman lahat ng x palitan ng 1 plus 5. Okay? So negative 1 squared is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. So 0 minus 6 is negative 6. Negative 6 times 6, negative 36. Alright?
Sir, ulit.
Sige po, okay po. Okay, so makinig po tayo ulit. Okay. So, ibig sabihin nito, P of 1, ito, P of 1 times N of 1. So, N of 1. So, gawin natin times. So, ang times natin ay we use dot na lang para madaling maintindihan. Okay? So, this is P of 1 times N of 1. So, P of 1, ibig sabihin, hindi, para maintindihan ng mga bata, ayusin mo magturo, Sir Josh. Ulitin natin ha, para maintindihan yung mga bata. Okay, so here, P of 1 muna tayo. So, mayroon tayong P of X. Hindi, blue pala yung P. Wait lang. So, ibig sabihin, kukomputin natin yung P of 1. Ito, multiply mo to. So, P of 1. Tapos, computin mo ang N of 1. So, ang N of 1. Tapos, yan ay multiplication ang operation natin. Okay, i-multiply natin. Dot na lang ang symbol natin sa multiplication para hindi kayo malito. Okay? So, ngayon, kunin muna natin yung value ng P of 1. Ano ba yung P of 1? Ano ba yung value ng P of 1? So, alam natin na ang given natin, ang P of X natin ay X squared minus X minus 6. So, ibig sabihin, dahil i-compute natin yung P of 1, si X palitan natin ng 1. So, P of 1 equals si X palitan ng 1 is squared minus si X palitan ng 1 minus 6. So, 1 squared ay 1 minus 1 minus 6. So, 1 minus 1, 0 to. So, negative 6 na lang natira. Okay? Sunod, computein naman natin yung n of 1. Para sa n of 1, dito natin ilagay. So, si x, palitan natin ng 1 plus 5. So, n of 1 is equal to 6. Okay. So, alam natin ang sagot ng n of 1 ay 6. At ang sagot ng p of 1 ay negative 6. So, negative 6 times 6 is negative, pag multiply mo, negative 36. Okay na po? Klaro ang explanation?
Yes, sir.
Sir. Thank you.
Yes po.
Next, composition of functions. Ito yung nakikita niyo sa module, may composition doon. Okay? So, kaya diniscuss ko ng maigi yung operations kasi kapag hindi ka muna sa operations, mas lalo sa compositions. So, here, si function 1, may dalawa tayong tao, si function 1 at si function 2. Tapos, do you want to make a new function? Sabi ni function 1. Sabi ni function 2, let's do it. So, ngayon, ang nangyari, nagkaroon ka ng function 3. I'm a new function now. So, paano naman yon? Mga bata, halina kayo at aralin natin yung composition of functions. Makinig. So, yung objective mo dito ay makapag-perform ka ng composition of functions. Okay? So, pakibasa, volunteer. You're going to read. Pag ikaw ay nag-volunteer, dapat, yes, Shan. Read, Shan.
If f and g are functions, then the composite function or composition of f and g is defined by
Shan, continue pa, Shan.
f times g of x equals to f of g times x.
Okay, so Shan, very good volunteer. A very good volunteer because you read it. Position, mga anak, yan ay unshaded circle. Okay? Unshaded circle. So, pag binasa natin, gusto ko lang maklaro sa inyo pag binasa nyo ito, no? Hindi kayo papasa sa akin kapag hindi kayo marunong magbasa nito. Sige, discuss natin ang detalyadong pagbabasa. Okay? So, if A and G are functions, then the composite function or composition of F and G is defined by, ang basa dyan, ito, pakinggan nyo sa baba. Read as, paano siya basahin? F composition G. Ano ba tong symbol na to? Di ba composition siya? Okay, so ang basa mo dyan ay F composition G of X. Okay? So, pwede mo siyang basahin as F. Ano ba tong circle na to? Symbol yan ng composition. O di basahin mo siya as composition. F composition G of X is equal to, tandaan nyo lagi ito yung equal na yan ay laging ito dapat ang laging phrase na nakasulat sa kanya. Hindi pwede ka mag-invento na kung ano-ano, ha? Baka sabihin mo, is equals, mali yun. Kapag is, ang equal, walang is. Dapat may kasamang to. Huwag tanggalin si to. Okay? So, is equal to. So, ang equal na to, ang basa sa kanya ay is equal to. Kung hindi mo ginamit si is at saka si to, dapat magiging equal siya. Okay? So, kung hindi mo ginamit si is saka to, ang basa mo dyan ay F composition G of X equals F of G of X. Pero kung ginamit mo si is, dapat F composition G of X is equal to. Yan. Huwag mong bitinin one word. Basahin mo ito ng diretso. Is equal to. Pati mga kapatid nyo, turuan nyo is equal to. Okay? Next. F of G of X. So, pwede mo rin siyang basahin ito na Kapag ang F composition G of X, ang sagot ito. Tandaan nyo yan, ha? Pag si F kinumpose mo kay G, ang sagot ito. Anong basa dyan? F of G of X. Alam natin sa math na ang of ay multiplication. Baka hindi nyo alam ha. Sige, may example ako. 2/3 of 12. 2/3 of 12. Elementary pa lang kayo, gasgas na kayo nito, di ba? So, yung 2/3, alam niyo ngayon, ang hulugan ng of sa math ay multiplication of 12. So, 2 times 12 is 24 over 3 is 8. Okay. Ano? 2/3 of 12 tayo, di ba? 2/3 of 12. So, 2 times 12 is 24. Divide by 3 is 8. So, tama naman, di ba? Kung ito ay 12, yung buong 2 ay 12. Turuan yung kapatid yun ng modeling approach. Ito yung approach na ginagamit sa Singapore para madali lang intindihan ng bata. So, you're going to divide the whole. The whole is 12. And you're going to divide that into 3 parts. Because division represents the number of parts the whole is being divided. So, we're going to divide the 12 into 3 parts. 1, 2, 3. So, the whole is divided into 3 equal parts. And the numerator represents the parts that are being considered or shaded. So, we're going to shade 2 parts. If 12 is divided into 3 parts, therefore 1 part is 12, or 3 box represents 12. So 1 box represents 4. Okay, 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12. And you considered only 2 out of 3, and the sum of 2 is 8. Ito yun. Okay? Para ito sa mga visual learners, abstract learners. Alright? Ganun po ang ating pagturo. Okay? So, ang basa natin ulit, ha? Bago ka matulog, aralin mo ito paano magbasa, ha? Okay, huwag ko kumain ngayon pag hindi ka marunong magbasa nito. F composition G of X is equal to F of G of X. Okay, klaro na tayo dyan, ha? Pag hindi mo pa alam, hindi ko na alam, hindi na ako may problema dyan, ikaw na. So, substitute G of X to the X in F. So, ibig sabihin, kung mayroon ka halimbawa F of X, ang F of X mo halimbawa, bigyan kita ng pinaka-simpleng halimbawa para maintindihan mo. 3x plus 1 na lang. Okay, 3x plus 1. Yung G of X mo ay 2, kunwari. Okay? So, halimbawa, pinapahanap sa'yo ni Sir Josh yung F compose G. O anong sagot? Pag F compose G, ang sagot mo ngayon ay F compose G of X. Ayun. So, ibig sabihin, si F mo dito, si F of X mo, si X mo, palitan mo ng G of X. Diba? Okay. So, kung mayroon kang F of X is equal to 3x plus 1. Ayan. Ano ipapalit mo kay X? Di ba, ipapalit mo ay si G of X. Di ba nag-evaluating function tayo kanina? Oh. Palitan mo siya ng G of X. So, F, si X mo, ay palitan mo ng G of X. So, lahat ng X mo, palitan mo ng G of X. So, magiging 3 G of X plus 1. Okay. So, ngayon, ano ba yung G of X mo? Ang G of X mo dito ay 2. 2. So, si G of X mo, palitan mo ng 2. So, magiging 3 times si G of X mo ay 2 plus 1. So, 3 times 2 ay 6 plus 1 is equal to 7. So, ibig sabihin, given F of X is equal to 3x plus 1, and given yung G of X equals 2, ang tanong ni Sir Josh ay find F composition G. So, F composition G is equal to F of G of X. So, balik ka kay f of x. Ang sabi, anong sabi? Si f of x ay equal kay 3x plus 1. At si x, palitan mo ng g of x. O si x, palitan mo ng g of x, palitan mo to ng g of x. Kaya nagiging ganito siya. E ano ba yung value ni g of x? Alam natin na si g of x ay equal kay 2. O palitan mo lang si g of x mo ng 2 and then simplify the result. Okay? So sana naintindihan nyo na. So magbibigay tayo ng example para makita, no? So yung f mo is the outer function, ang g mo siya yung inner function. Example here. Given. Pakibasa nga, Levi.
Given f of x is equal to x minus 3 and g of x is equals to 2x plus 5.
Well,
Solve
wait, may narinig ako sa yung may s. Levi, balik. May narinig ako sa'yo, sabi mo, is equals to. Walang is ang equal. Pakiulit, mula sa umpisa, given. Go.
Given f of x is equal to x minus 3 and g of x is equal to 2x plus 5. Solve f composition of g times x. Of x.
F, composition G, ulit. F, composition G of X.
G of x. Sorry po sir, medyo lutang po.
Sige, okay lang, I understand. Okay? So, I really appreciate your participation. Okay? So, pasensya na kayo ha. Yung iba dyan, hindi ko kayo tinatanong kasi kanina nagra-random ako. Pag tinanong ko, minsan sabihin sira ang mic, hindi sumasagot. Nagsasayang tayo ng oras. Kaya, tinitingnan ko na lang kung sino nag-press ng hand icon para siya na lang tatanungin natin para hindi na tayo magsayang ng oras. Okay? Kung sa klase ito, mapipilitan ka magsagot sa akin. Okay? Dahil online nga, nagtitipid tayo ng oras kaya hindi natin pwedeng hintayin kung kailan siya sasagot. Okay? Isang oras na yung calculus, tapos 1 hour lang. No? So ngayon, pag sinolve natin to, tingnan mo. Okay? So, f composition g of x is equal to f of g of x. G of x ay equal siya sa 2x plus 5. So, ibig sabihin, kunin natin yung alam natin na ang g of x natin, ito siya. Diba? So, g of x natin, ito yun. So, ibig sabihin, si x dito, palitan mo ng g of x. At ang g of x mo ay 2x plus 5. So, kaya siya, si g of x may 2x plus 5, pinalitan mo na siya ng 2x plus 5. Substitute. So, sa f of x mo, si x mo ulit, pinalitan mo ng 2x plus 5. Si x mo, pinalitan mo ng 2x plus 5 minus 3. And then, you will simplify the result. So, is equal to 2x plus 5 minus 3. O f composition g of x is equal to 2x plus 2. Ay, sana naintindihan. Okay. Example 2. Please tap the hand icon if you wish to answer. Overtime na ako ah. Sige, mag-end ako sa composition. Dalawang example na lang tapos mag-lunch na kayo. Ako din, di pinagla-lunch. Nihintay ko kayo matapos ang klase. Sige, sagutan nyo na mabilis para tayo ay makapag-lunch. Given f of x is equal to x minus 3 and g of x is equal to 2x plus 5, solve g, composition f of x. Wala? Yes, Allen Diwa. What's your answer?
2x minus 1, sir.
Okay, Allen Diwa, 2x minus 1. Let us check. Allen, thank you. Okay, very good. Allen, tingnan natin ha. Okay. So, G composition f of x is equal to G of f of x. So, si f of x natin, ang given ay x minus 3. So, ibig sabihin, sa kay G, lahat ng x ni G ay palitan natin ng x minus 3. So, ang g natin, si x ay palitan ng x minus 3. So, substitute natin. So, if g of x is equal to 2x plus 5, then g of x minus 3 is equal to, so alam natin si g of x natin ay 2x plus 5, si x pinalitan natin ng x minus 3. So, 2 times quantity x minus 3 plus 5. So, distribute 2x minus 6 plus 5. Simplify the result. G composition f of x is equal to 2x minus 1. Okay, sige, isa pa para dapat tama kayo. Okay, tama kayo. Inayos ko to yung module nyo na may composition doon. Dapat ma-master nyo to. Okay. Go. O tap the hand icon if you have your answer. Given f of x is equal to x squared minus 2x plus 4 and g of x is equal to 5x plus 1, solve f composition g of negative 1. Alin diwa, baka gusto mo ulit mag-try?
Masolve pa lang po.
Sige, take your time. Who wish to answer, please tap the hand icon. Yes, Giancarlo, good on. What's your answer?
Negative 5x plus 3 po.
Okay, let us check. Negative 5x plus 3. So, f composition g of negative 1. So, that is equal to f of g of negative 1. Step 1, evaluate the inner function first. Solve for g of negative 1. Ano ba yung sagot sa g of negative 1? So, lahat ng x palitan natin ng negative 1 kay g. So, ito yung g natin. So, pag pinalitan natin ng negative 1, magiging 5. So, x palitan ng 1. Okay lang yun, anak. Walang problema. Okay. Equals 1. So, I really appreciate your participation. Normal lang yun. Minsan sa pagmamadali natin, nag-careless tayo. Kahit ako, nagkakamali minsan. 5 times negative 1 is negative 5 plus 1. The negative 1, 5 plus 1 is negative 4. So, alam na natin ngayon na ang g of negative 1 pala ay negative 4. Ngayon, itong g of negative 1 natin, ang sagot ay negative 4, ipapalit natin kay x dito. Kasi ang sagot na nito, iba f, ito siya, si x. Ang sagot sa g of negative 1 ay negative 4, so ipapalit mo na ngayon yung f of negative 4. Kasi ang sagot kay g of negative 1 ay negative 4. So, ibig sabihin, sa f of x mo equals x squared minus 2x plus 4, lahat ng x palitan mo ng negative 4. Okay? So, step 2, erase ko lang para magiging malinis yung screen. Okay. So, f of negative 4 is equal to, so sa x mo palitan mo lang ng negative 4 squared minus 2 times negative 4 plus 4. So, negative 4 squared ay 16. Then, negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8 plus 4. 16 plus 8 is 24 plus 4 is 28. Okay? Therefore, we can say that f, ito yung f, symbol ng composition, f composition g of negative 1 is equal to 28. O, sige, another. Isa pa. Given a of x is equal to 3x minus 10, what is a? Composition a of 3. Again, given a of x is equal to 3x minus 10, what is a composition a of 3? Go.
Negative 13 po, sir.
Negative 13. Trisha, what's your answer, Trisha? Yes, Russell.
Negative 13 po.
How about Russell?
Positive 13. Ay, hindi po teka.
Okay, let's check. Sige. Yung negative term, mga sagot, sige, check natin. So, A, composition A of 3. Palitan natin sa A ng A of 3. Step 1, evaluate muna yung A of 3. So, A of 3 is 3 times 3 minus 10. 9 minus 10 is negative 1. So, substitute that negative 1 in A ulit. So, 3 times negative 1 minus 10. Negative 3 minus 10. Okay. So, A, composition A of 3 negative.
Inner muna bago.
Naririnig po.
Mag-away pa kayo. Okay.
Pamute.
Last example. Sige ulit. A, given A of x minus 8x plus 9 and B of x is equal to x plus 2. What is A, composition B of x? Tap the hand icon if you want to answer. Tap the hand icon if you wish to answer.
Ay, so ano po sagot sa nauna?
Negative 13 dyan. Dito na tayo sa 5. Negative 13 sa 4, negative 13. So sa 5 na tayo. Yes, John, got that.
Negative 6x plus 29 po.
How about Russell?
X squared minus 4x minus 3.
Okay, magandang labanan to. Parang ito lang mga pangalan na lumalabas sa ano natin Okay? Sige, tingnan
Sana
natin.
tumama na, sir.
Sige, try. Okay lang yun. Marami akong bala sa inyo. Kala nyo ba? Dapat naka-reserve to sa 109 students yung question ko para lahat may chance makapag-recite. Kaso lang matagal yung iba sumagot. Okay, so palitan natin yung A, composition B of x is equal to A of B of x. So, alam natin na si B of x ay x plus 2. So, ipalit natin si x plus 2 kay A of x. So, ang A of x natin ay x squared minus 8x plus 9. So, lahat ng x ay palitan ng x plus 2. After natin mapalitan, we're going to simplify. X squared plus 4x plus 4 minus 8x minus 16 plus 9. So, combining like terms, so that is equal to A composition B of x is equal to x squared minus 4x minus 3. O sino nakatama? Si Russell ba o si Gutan? Si Russell. Okay, so okay lang yun. Okay lang yun. O sige, isa pa, bawi ka dito. O, pakibilis next week, magpiprepare kayo. Magbibigay ako ng incentive sa makakasagot. Load. Okay? Gcash load. Alright. Wala na akong kikitain, pinamigay ko pa. Okay. So, that ends our overtime na ako masyado kasi 11:15 na. Sulit naman kayo sa akin, hindi naman kayo lugi, Ilang oras na ako nagtuturo. Okay. So, that ends our lesson muna. Meron pa sana akong ituturo, kaso lang overtime na talaga. Gusto ko man marami pang maibahagi o maituro sa inyo, kaso lang kulang tayo sa oras Okay, so sana napuno kayo ngayong araw sa discussion natin. We will continue again next meeting. May request everyone to have a picture of yourself. Print screen muna ako para sa attendance natin. Sa mga latecomers, magsisend ulit ako ng link para ikaw ay makapag-attendance. Pahintay lamang sa mga latecomers para kayo ay ma-recognize yung attendance nyo today. So, isend ko yung link. Ito na. Pakitingnan na lang sa chat box at paki-fill in ang attendance. Kasi i-forward ko ito sa admin yung ating attendance.
Sir, di po kayo mag-send ng assignment.
Hindi na. Okay. Sa assignment ko doon yung sa portal lahat ginagawa. Okay. So, magbibilang muna ako para mamaya makapture yung hindi nyo maayos ng mukha, magagalit kayo sa akin, ha? Okay, ulitin ko muna. Magbibilang ako. In 3, 2, 1. Picture. So, yung attendance mga anak, doon sa link, paki-update na lang din. Yun lang sa araw na ito. Maraming salamat sa oras nyo. Mag-ingat kayo palagi. Hindi tayo nakikita personal, pero sana may natutunan kayo at hindi sayang yung oras nyo. Baka sabihin nyo, sana naglapad na nga ako, wala naman ako natutunan.
Salamat, sir.
Paalam at
Salamat po,
Thank you
sir.
po.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you po, sir.
Sir.